Hey all, Hibber here. So if you watch this channel, which I'm assuming you do since you're watching this video here, then first of all let me just say don't forget to subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Lots of warships coming and agile gameplay, let's put it like that. But if you watch this channel, then you probably heard me complain about battles with too many battleships. And when I say too many battleships, that means more than 3. 3 of each kind of ship is ideal, and 3 battleships is ideal. Like, I can accept 4 battleships. I still don't think it's good for the game, but I can accept it. But as soon as we get into 5 or 6 battleships, I just don't think it's fun. Too many battleships in the game just ruin all the fun. And in this battle here, we only have 2 battleships. And we're so lucky they're in a division, and as most divisions do, they stick together. And they actually spawned in the middle. And instead of just taking up position out there, like just pointing, each way, basically, and, covering the map that way, they've decided to head for the sea cap, leaving this whole 2/3 of the map here without any battleships at all. And, clumping together in battleships is never wise, but when you're only 2 battleships in a game, that's even worse. Like, they really should, spread out and cover as much as they can. Because, when I have no battleships, being pesky and annoying around to citadel me, I can pretty much do whatever I like, especially if I'm in a cruiser, and especially when I have a nice Alaska backup here, because the Stalingrad was moving in, but the Alaska is in a good position, and we've got him in a nice crossfire here. He can't really do anything. If he turns to get away, I can citadel him. And if he stays the way he is, well, the Alaska can citadel him, which he does. And I mean, this is just... Getting rid of all those battleships just creates so much better gameplay. So I hurried up to get into this position here because I like to sit here where I can sonar everyone on the other side and just making them super easy targets for anyone who spawns at B or C on my team, obviously. There's not many ships from my team at that location, especially at B. They've all moved to C as well. So I know there's a destroyer on the other side, so we'll see if we can't, remove him. And like I said, I have nothing to fear over here. There's no battleships at all, so in Colbert that just means, okay, go for it, do whatever you want, especially when the Shima is not very careful. Like this guy here, he just comes out, he knows I'm coming. But okay, fine, I will punish you to within an inch of your life. And then I'll dodge your torpedoes, and then I will do a little circle, and then I'll come and eat you. I think that having less battleships in a battle would actually teach battleship players the importance of playing a battleship. Because they are super important. I mean, all classes are important, but I would say battleships probably the most important class, because they have the ability to just remove ships like that. I know destroyers can do that with torpedoes as well, but it requires a bit more work and luck as well. While as battleships, if there's a broadside, it's a potential deletion right there, just like that. And because there's too many battleships in the games, there's always 5 or 6, always. Like the battleships will always have a shot at something, and they just don't realize how important it is for them to spread out on the map and create those all-important crossfires. Because with 6 battleships, there's going to be crossfires no matter what anyone does, really. And it creates, in my opinion, quite disappointing gameplay. Like I said, 4 battleships is the absolute maximum. 3 is much better. So there should be 3 battleships, 3 cruisers, and 3 destroyers. If it's a carrier game, then you switch one of the destroyers out with the carrier. And that's how this game was meant to be played. And it's just, bad luck that everybody wants to play battleships. And the queue is just swamped with battleship players, waiting to get in there and dev strike cruisers. And sure, yeah, I get it, but I think that we've reached a point where it's okay to make those battleship players wait a little bit longer. If they really, really want to play the most popular class of all. I think it will benefit the game and everyone else playing the game. It also doesn't help that and I'm talking in very broad general terms here, that, Battleship players are, let's be honest here, usually the worst players, and they are usually the ones, giving up flanks and going broadside 30 seconds into the game and getting deleted and stuff like that. That used to be a problem with destroyers, where people just don't understand them, but I don't think that's much of a problem anymore. Probably carriers have helped out a bit there, so really only very good players decide to play destroyers these days, because it's way harder than it was back in the old days, where you could take out the Yudachi and you could just go to town on the red team and no one could really do anything. So here the destroyer was running to his Minotaur mate to get some help, but didn't work out that way. And gameplay like this is just so much more fun. Look at that, the torpedo there, that was a close shave. I didn't even notice that until now. So, like I said, the gameplay is so much more fun because you can push, and even if there was 3 battleships, one at each spawn, and they were actually playing the game in quotes right and covering their teammates, like you can still create much more fluid and interesting gameplay instead of having to always hide from the 6 battleships sitting 14 kilometers away trying to get a cheap death strike on cruisers. I don't think that is healthy for the game in the long run. I mean, personally, I'm getting really sick of it. So that's why I really enjoy these battles here, where I get 3, 4, sometimes 2 battleships. I don't care if there's like 1 million destroyers. That doesn't bother me at all. That's actually a good thing. Actually, I really enjoy battles where I get 4 or 5 destroyers, because I always play cruiser, of course. But I can understand why battleship players wouldn't like that, and that's again coming back to the fact that, well, I mean, the game works best with 3 of each kind, and there's a maximum 4 of one of the kinds. It just creates more fluid battles, more fun, and I don't see why it's not implemented really. Yeah, the queue would be a little bit longer for battleship players, but really, like, with that, is that really such a big negative that everyone has to suffer for it? I don't think so. So anyway, we only have the 2 Yammies here left, and they're in a division, like I said, and they're pretty much just, caught themselves on a very nasty situation over here at the sea cap, because they have no way of cross-firing us, and that's the only way these guys are going to win in this battle here, especially when there's only 2 battleships left. With them in the same position, only able to shoot at the same targets from the same angle, they're going to lose no matter what. Well, unless, one of those weird, crazy Legends games comes along where everything just goes crazy. But it turns out as I expected in this battle here, and yeah, good fun. Like, less battleships, more fun, really. So 2 ships with 3000 XP here, and look, that's TK0421, that's the Stormtrooper, by the way, if you didn't know. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the battle, and play something other than battleships.